All right, we're going to begin here with example 3 and continue with E. So again, we want to simplify this. So I'm going to begin by looking inside my parentheses and seeing that I have a y, a base of y that I can combine. So I'm going to begin by doing that. So I'm going to have 4 x to the 5th. There's nothing to combine that with. I have a y and an understood 1 right there. So 1 minus a minus 4 is going to give me y to the 1 minus a minus gives me plus 5 right there. And then I still have the z in the denominator raised to the negative 2 power. All right, so now I'm going to take my quotient and raise all the pieces of it to the negative 2 power. So 4 to the negative 2 power. Then when I have a power to a power, remember I multiply these exponents. So 5 times negative 2 for my x is going to be a negative 10. My y, again, I have 5 times negative 2, which is going to be negative 10. Here I have that understood 1. So 1 times negative 2 is, that's a z, is negative 2. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. All right, so this is a z. So now I'm going to get rid of my negative exponents. So here's my fraction. So my negative 4 to the negative 2 will drop and become 4 squared. X to the negative 10 is going to drop and be x to the 10th. Y to the negative 10 drops and becomes y to the positive 10th. And z to the negative 2 then rises to the numerator and becomes z to the positive 2. And I can simplify the 4 squared into a 16. So I have z squared over 16x to the 10th, y to the 10th. On F, I'm going to take a look at this and see I can't simplify inside that fraction or inside that parentheses, also not here. So let's go ahead and just raise all the pieces of this to the 3rd power. And so I have 2 to the 3rd power, which is 8. 2 to the 3rd is 8. X, I'm going to multiply 4 times 3 and get 12. 5 to the 3rd power is 125. And negative 2, a power to a power, I'll multiply those exponents and get y to the negative 6. Okay, so 2 parentheses touching, that's multiplication. I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I have a negative 4, power to power, multiply those and get x to the 4th. 10 to the negative 1. And then negative 2 times negative 1, so power to power, multiply and get y squared. So at this point, we got multiplication, so we can really kind of draw a big fraction bar because in multiplication, it doesn't matter the order. So let's say we just did that. We did this here. This is multiplied, and this is multiplied. Then let's put together our x's up here. So we have an 8. And when I multiply, I'm going to multiply my coefficients. So 8 times 1 is 8. And I'm going to add my exponents. So 12 plus 4 is 16. Oh, down here, I'm seeing the y to the negative 6. I'm kind of going crazy on this a little bit. But let's move that to the numerator. So I'm going to put it up here, y to the positive 6. I have 10 to the negative 1, which I'm going to move to the numerator, make it positive 1. And then let's see, I got the 125 here. This is moved up, this is moved up, and y squared is here. Then we can put together our y's here and get, let's see, we get 80. So multiplying here, I'm going to get 10 times 8 is 80. I have x to the 16th. Then I have y to the 6 minus 2. So 6 minus 2 is y to the 4th. I've still got the 125, and that's my answer. A lot of steps in that one, and you just have to be careful. There's no right or wrong order, as you can tell the way I did it. You just have to kind of piece by piece kind of move through and do all those steps until you get it down to where you only have a base of x once, a base of y once, and your fractions are simplified. Oh, they're not simplified, are they? Simplified if possible. So what do you notice about this? 5 will go into both of those. So let's change this and divide by 5. And I get 16, x to the 16th, y to the 4th, over 5 will go into this 25 times. So one more step, and that is our final answer. Our last examples here, we have got some variable exponents. So again, when I have a power to a power, just like in PEMDAS, we're going to do our powers first, not multiplication, but powers first because of PEMDAS. And then, let's see, so we're going to get 3 to the 3rd power is 27, and x to the a. So a power to a power, I'm going to multiply these exponents and get 3 times a. So I have x to the negative 2a times 27. Oh, I left out my x to the 3a. So now I'm going to multiply. So coefficients 1 times 27 is 27. And when I multiply my bases of x, I'm going to add the exponents. So negative 2a plus 3a is going to give me an a for an answer, and that's it. Next one, I have a quotient power to a power. I'm going to multiply those exponents and get 9t over y to the 4c minus 3. Then I'm going to subtract. So when I have division, I subtract with the same base. I'm going to subtract my exponents. So I'm going to have y to the 9t subtract 4c minus 3. Remember, I'm subtracting the whole thing. So I'm going to have to distribute it. That was a t, isn't it? And then that's going to give me y to the 9t minus 4t, distribute minus a minus, is going to give me plus 3. So this ends up being y to the 5t plus 3 for my final answer. So you give these last two a try, and then we'll talk about this next class.